They never showed up. I still remember sitting there, staring at the empty seats where my parents should have been. The string quartet played softly, the flowers were flawless, yet their absence cut through me deeper than any knife. After the ceremony, still trembling in my wedding dress, I called them. My mother's voice was cold and scripted. "Enjoy marrying your plumber. We refuse to embarrass ourselves with you." Her tone was like ice. My father stayed silent in the background. Then the call ended. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. All those years of loyalty, of being the obedient daughter, meant absolutely nothing. My only crime was loving a man who worked with his hands. I thought of my sister's wedding just 2 years earlier, white doves released into the air, crystal chandeliers sparkling overhead, and a lavish 5-star venue. My parents glided through the ballroom like royalty, basking in admiration. They spared no expense, dropping over $60,000 to showcase her worth. I stood beside her as maid of honor, smiling through every speech, quietly covering unpaid bills, making sure the event ran seamlessly. I believed that was love. I thought my dedication mattered. But when my turn came, they erased me. At first, the pain consumed me. Sleepless nights staring at the ceiling, replaying every memory, wondering what I had done wrong. Then pain turned into anger, slow, simmering, sharp. I didn't explode. I planned. If my parents thought my husband was beneath them, I would make them wish they had stood beside him. Daniel was far more than just a plumber. His hands were rough from work, yes, but his mind was razor-sharp. Ambitious. Relentless. 4 years, he had been quietly building something. Contracts, partnerships, investments. And I had been listening to every late-night conversation, every whispered plan. Together, we weren't small. We were on our way to something far bigger. Even the night of my parents' rejection, sitting with Daniel in our modest kitchen, I told him everything. Every cruel remark, every comparison to my sister, every dismissal. He didn't lash out. He didn't curse them. He simply reached across the table, squeezed my hand, and said, "Then let's make them watch." Step 1 was silence. I didn't confront them. I didn't beg for their presence. I let them believe they had cut me off. Their arrogance would be their undoing. Step 2 was visibility. 6 months later, Daniel signed a massive city contract. His company trucks carried our name in bold letters. We began hosting dinners, fundraisers, charity galas, carefully and strategically inviting the right people. I made sure the photos made the rounds. I made sure the right names tagged me. And then came my move. The morning after our 1-year anniversary, I sent my parents a single photo. Daniel, dressed in a tailored suit, shaking hands with the mayor. Behind them, a large banner read, "Partnership for City Infrastructure." My caption was only 3 words. My husband. Ours. I hit send and carried on with my day. By evening, my phone showed 40 missed calls. My mother, my father, my sister. Then the texts poured in, panicked and desperate. "We need to talk." "Why didn't you tell us?" "Call us immediately." Suddenly, the man they were once ashamed of had become the son-in-law they wanted. Suddenly, I mattered again. But I didn't call. Not yet. Weeks later, I finally saw them face to face, at a charity gala they hadn't been invited to. They cornered me, all smiles and rehearsed charm. "Darling, you should have told us," my mother cooed. "We didn't realize Daniel was so successful." I looked her straight in the eye, calm and steady. "You never cared to know." Her smile faltered. My father cleared his throat. "We just want to be part of your life again." I stepped closer, my voice low, sharp enough to cut. "You told me to enjoy marrying my plumber. And I have, every single second. The only difference is you'll never enjoy it with me." Then I walked away, leaving them standing small and exposed in a room full of people who no longer looked their way. Here's the truth. I don't need their approval. I never did. What I wanted was for them to feel the weight of their arrogance, to choke on the consequences of doors they slammed shut while I opened better ones. Now, every time they see my name in a headline, every time someone praises their brilliant daughter and her husband, they're forced to remember the day they chose pride over love. That is my revenge. Not screaming. Not anger. Exile. Silence. And in that silence, they finally heard everything they refused to see. I am not the forgotten daughter. I am the one who walked away, and never looked back.